Hello Gemini, welcome to your weekly reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is for the week of March 26th through April 1st. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I'm providing. Okay. Remember that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And here we have a 5 of discs or pentacles or diamonds or coins. We're going to put that into some context with our Dove and Serpent spread. And as I lay these cards out, I do just want to say that if there is, wow, a lot of water here. If there is anything that you need me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know in the comments. All right. Okay, we're going to finish with our Dove and Serpent spread. A lot of good energy, a lot of water today. I'm seeing that right away. There's a lot of water going on. Let's do our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. And this is a card that we're going to set aside. We're not going to turn it over or look at it at all until the very end of the reading. I'm going to leave it right there. So you do have to stick around until the end. And hopefully that will tie everything together and give us the confirmation that we need at the end of things. Okay, so let's take a look around again. We've got some water. We've got some earth and some fire. We've got some, well, some major arcana, some earth, and some more water. So we have a good balance except for the air. There's not a lot of air energy. And that could be a good thing, because that could tell us that there's not a lot of conflict going on, that there's not an issue with how you're communicating with others, the people around you, the relationships that you're in. Everything seems to be working, okay? It's either that or we're avoiding something, all right? We could be avoiding all of this air energy. I don't think so, because we do have Mercury here in the position of your relationships, your environment. I think we're going to be okay. But let's start with the 5 of discs that came out as the first card today. I think you're somebody ready for a change, you know. I think you are someone who starts to feel a little restless, maybe like stagnant when things aren't really moving and progressing, when things are the same for too long. I think you start to get a little restless, okay? We do see some fire energy in some key places here that are kind of telling me that you're starting to get like this itch to start doing something, to start moving, to start stirring things up. I think you have a lot of practical skills. It's like you feel like the type of person that's always kind of going around the house looking for something to do, looking for something that needs renovation, that needs repair. Maybe you find old furniture online or something, and you strip it down, you fix it up, you refinish it, and then maybe you sell it. Or maybe you keep it, you know, maybe you do a little of both. I feel like you have a lot of these kinds of practical skills, you know, but it's not something that you're doing for money. I think you're doing it because you enjoy it, because it feels like it's kind of who you are. It's how you can express yourself, you know. So I don't know what kind of profession you're in, but I feel like the change that we're looking for is kind of a change that is happening at home, in your private life, mostly, because of all this water energy that we see around this change, right? This 5 of discs is telling me that you're looking for a change in focus. You're looking to find something that's going to be a better expression of your creativity, of who you are, give you a better sense of direction or a sense of purpose and meaning, okay? So we are looking for a change, and I think that is a change in the physical environment. It could be you need to get away for a while. It could be you need to find, you know, new projects, new creative outlets, okay? It could be that you are this type of person that likes to have different projects going on, again, like taking the furniture and kind of, you know, fixing it up, refinishing it, that sort of thing. It's possible that you haven't really been doing this for a while. It could be that you've kind of lost touch with this. I almost called it a hobby, but it's more of a passion, more of a kind of a way of life, you know. it feels like you kind of lost touch with this a little bit. Maybe there are other responsibilities in your life that had to take precedence over this part of you, this creative, but very practical side of yourself. Okay. Now, with the Five of Discs, it very often is talking about worry, money troubles, things like that. But in this case, I really don't feel like. I feel like this is kind of your vibe right now, where you're in that mode where you want to get back into fixing things up. You want to get back into finding what might be old and broken and, to some people might seem worthless, and you build something beautiful with it, right? You turn it into something that is just amazing. And, and I'm using the example of the old furniture, but this could literally be anything. It doesn't have to be something so concrete. It could be something abstract. I feel like you have a lot of patience, and especially with the water energy too. I feel like you're a very patient person. I feel like you're starting to get that restlessness though, right now. I feel like you need to get back to this kind of working with your hands. I feel like you are a builder. I'm getting the idea that maybe you even went to school for some kind of craft. I don't know, repair or woodworking, carpentry, something where you kind of, it's a very skilled thing and you're working with your hands, I kind of picture you in a wood shop, just, building different things and fixing up things that you've found or purchased somewhere. You kind of feel like a builder or like a renovator, someone who takes what is kind of old and kind of dying and restores it to beauty and health and vitality, So I think that's kind of your mode this week. I think you need to find something else that you can put that energy into, okay? And with the present Seven of Cups, I do feel like you've been stagnating a little bit, okay? I feel like this week you're going to really kind of realize that you've been on the couch too long. You've been waiting around too long now, and you've been putting off this impulse, this interest, this passion of yours for too long. It's time to get back into these things that you once enjoyed. Okay? Because I feel like, again, with the Five of Discs, it's not something that you have to do to earn a little extra money. It's not like a side hustle, really. This is about you just enjoying the process of building and creating and renovating, restoring something to beauty. I think working with your hands, I think that's what you enjoy. And especially with the Three of Cups up above everything, this is a source of inspiration for you. This is where I think you really feel like you are expressing yourself. This is really how you are kind of, giving back in a way. Maybe you take these things, you restore them, and then you give these things away. Or you donate them or something like that. You're just kind of recycling this stuff. I'm picturing an old, like wicker chair or something, and you'll strip it down, you'll refinish it or paint it. I don't know what you do with wicker. And you'll turn it into something that's just very beautiful again. And it has almost a renewed purpose now, And I kind of feel like that energy, that flow of energy is what you're looking for in your life. And that really speaks strongly to this Seven of Cups, because I wonder if you're feeling like your usefulness has waned a little bit, if you're finding a lack of meaning and a lack of focus, a lack of pleasure and reward and satisfaction in your life. So it's almost like we need to turn this renovating, rejuvenating, restoration energy, we need to turn that inward, right? And we need to get through this Seven of Cups, because this, I think, is stagnation to the point where it's starting to be harmful to your health, I'm praying not literally, but I feel like it's really weighing on you, and it's starting to feel really heavy. Okay. So the first step is, of course, recognizing this. Recognizing that we've been, I think, in this this kind of resting, stagnant state for a little while, and it's time to really move on. It's time to find that fire, really, because I think that's what we're kind of gearing up for, is this Emperor card on the path of the Serpent. This taking charge, this real gusto, this real confidence and assertiveness in taking charge and taking control of our life. So in the recent past, though, we did have some fire energy already, and this is the 9 of Wands. I think at one time you were very much in your energy. You were very much expressing yourself, expressing your creativity. You were confident, you were in charge, in control, and you were doing your will, right? You were following your purpose, following your bliss, if you will. I think the 3 of Cups, a good key word for this is bliss. I think you've always been on this path of trying to, not to steal the phrase from Joseph Campbell, but you've always been on the path of following your bliss, trying to pursue your bliss, right? That activity, that way of being, the way of relating to the world that is the most fulfilling, that resonates the most with who you are inside, I think you've always been on that path. I think circumstances recently have maybe slowed that pursuit down. Maybe you've had some health issues. Maybe people around you have had some health issues. There's been, I think, not a disconnect between your head and your heart, but there's been a little bit of a darkening of that connection, because I think your attention has had to go elsewhere. I think that it feels like you have a lot of people that you're responsible for. Maybe you're taking care of your family, maybe you're running a business or something now at this time in your life. It doesn't seem there's a lot of energy or time, but mostly energy left at the end of the day for you to really just kind of be with yourself and pursue your own creative interests, right? So it could be that the period of time that you're in, this phase of your life, is one where you are really drawing heaviest on your spiritual energy, And I think maybe as time goes on a little bit, you're going to find that your allotment of energy will shift. The pendulum will kind of swing one way or the other. I think right now you're heavily focused on these other responsibilities, family, home, work, career, your business, something like that. But I think that you're recognizing the absolute need for you to get through this 7 of Cups. And, it's not good for you. Okay, let me just say that. It's not, I don't think it's a healthy thing for you to divert so much energy from this work in order to handle your other responsibilities. Okay, there needs to be a balance. I'm hoping that this mystery card is something like temperance or adjustment to show that there's a balance, right? Because I feel as if these 2 cards here are really, really important to you, right? This creative outlet, this what I'm picturing as you spending time in your wood shop or your workshop or your artist studio and doing this work, doing this creative kind of hands-on work, that it kind of feels like you don't have time for it, but if you really wanted to, you could make time. Does that make sense? I'm not trying to offend anyone, but the 7 of Cups here, this is telling me that the opportunity is there. It's just not being taken advantage of, So for whatever reason, I think there is a lot of your energy devoted to your other things. And some of that, I think, if we really sat down and thought about it, could be diverted to following your heart, following your bliss, right? But for some reason, we're not taking advantage of that just yet. Okay. Down beneath everything, we see this 8 of Cups. This is glass half empty, sometimes glass half full. I think you're coming out of a little bit of a slump, you know? I think you're starting to hit the upswing again, right? I think we've just been down a little bit recently. Again, with this 9 of Wands, maybe there was some health issues, some other responsibilities that, you're starting to come out of now. And so I think we can start filling these cups back up. This is a lot of fluctuation in our mood, you know. And I think, especially with you, Gemini, there's a tendency to go to one extreme or the other, you know. It's almost day to day, we don't know if we're going to wake up and have a glass that's half full or a glass that's half empty. But I think this is something that needs to be recognized and accepted. This is part of who we are, and we can allow these feelings to kind of flow over us and then pass away. We don't have to hold on to them. We don't have to identify with them. We don't have to let them, these kind of 8 cups that are just kind of draining one day and filling up the next day. We don't have to let those fluctuations of mood dictate our lives, right? And there's a stark contrast between the 3 of Cups at the top and the 8 of Cups at the bottom, right? The 8 of Cups is kind of just accepting the feelings, wallowing in it, self-pity, depression, really identifying and holding on to those negative emotions. But directly opposite of that is the exact opposite, the 3 of Cups. Like, that is just intense activity in a positive direction, the pouring out of love and joy and happiness and bliss, you know. So I think there is this opposition in you. And I do think that we're coming out of that, especially on the path of the Serpent. We start with this Emperor energy, and that's really kind of taking life by the horns, so to speak, and taking control, you know. So I feel like we will be getting back to our creative pursuits. Now, in the immediate future, we see this water sign person. This seems like someone about your age, maybe a masculine energy person, maybe a water sign person. You know, I'm thinking maybe a water sign, maybe a Scorpio person in your life. I don't know if there is someone like that that's very close to you. Or if this person is coming in the future, someone that you're going to have this interaction with, that's going to in some way be a prompt for you or a motivation for you to get things going in a different direction, right? Because I said at the beginning that you're ready for a change, right? You need something different. And I think what is different, what is going to change, is going to be you getting back to pursuing your bliss, okay? I don't want to overuse that phrase, but it's one that I happen to like in this situation. And in some way, it's going to involve this water sign person, again, maybe a Scorpio person. I don't know who this person is to you. Like, I'm trying to get an idea if this is a family member, if this is maybe your romantic partner. I don't know. I don't see. It could, honestly, it could be another part of your own spiritual makeup. Okay, I don't know if you have a strong water placement in your chart. I know where this reading is for Gemini. You could have a very strong water placement or some connection to Scorpio. Okay, and it could be through that connection to Scorpio, whether that manifests as another person or whether it manifests as just another side of yourself. That's going to be the key. Okay, and the thing with the Prince of Cups is this is someone who, inside, behind all of this activity, behind the mask, behind the persona, this is someone with a very dedicated creative drive, very ambitious creativity, Someone who is intensely creative and just almost through any means necessary will find a way to express their creativity. So it's like they're bursting at the seams behind this mask and this persona. There's this creativity. There is just this unavoidable need to express themselves. Okay, they're trying to keep it contained, but it's not working, right? So this could kind of be along those Scorpio lines, right? Someone with that kind of intensity. It could be that Scorpio part of you, right? I'm curious how many of you have Mercury in Scorpio or Venus in Scorpio, because I'm kind of getting that vibe right now. Well, let's go to the path of the serpent now, because we have this Emperor energy, and this really is, I think, through this Scorpio connection, you're really going to be invoking your own spiritual fire, your own confidence, assertiveness, again, taking life by the horns, taking control, having authority over things, and really deciding what you're going to do. You're making the decisions, you know. And in something like with all of this water that we see on the path of the dove, really the only thing that's keeping you here is you. So it's as easy as making the decision and then taking active steps. The first thing that has to come is the will, right? The decision. The force and fire from within you that says, I'm going to start pursuing what I need for my spiritual fulfillment. You know, to express my soul, to follow my bliss. I'm going to make the decision right now to start that process, to begin that path again. Because, like I said, I think that you were at one time very much into that. That was where that was your happy place, man. You've just felt really great doing that kind of work, that if it was renovating or building or whatever that creativity was, man, you loved it there. But something happened that you had to stop doing that, or you had to take a break. You had to walk away from it for a time. And that time got longer and longer. So I feel like we took a break. It was supposed to be a temporary break. But it's kind of going on for a little while now. We need to get back to it before it becomes way too long, you know. Now, the next card is that Mercury connection. This is your absolute creativity. This is the way that you are able to channel the divinity, channel the divine influence, the grace, the blessings, the bliss, and express it through your hands. You know, as you're creating these things, as you're doing this work, it really feels like you are in some kind of mystical state when you do that, you know. I wonder if you have a history of very intense meditation, you know. I wonder if you have experience with these kind of mystical trances that, you know, people talk about during meditation and stuff, you know. I feel like you experience the same thing, but through this creativity. When you're doing this physical activity, this work, I feel like you enter those kind of mystical trances, you know. And it could be that's where you really commune with nature, with God, goddess, deity, universal mind, universal energy, your higher soul, your guardian angels, your spirit guides, whatever you call it. I feel like that's where you really have that communion, you know, that communication and that union. I feel like that's very important to you. And I feel like without that, you're kind of stuck here. Right? It's just, life is not the same. You don't feel the fulfillment. You feel that you are a ship that is just tossed around by the waves, whatever waves may come. You don't have any control over that. You need this connection. You need this communication and union with your higher spirit, spirit guides, guardian angels, etc. Right? Whatever you call it. This is very important to you. That's very important to you. And I think that's what you miss most about doing this work, doing this creative, you know, activity, is the sense of union with the divine that you would experience. You know, I mean, yeah, you enjoy doing the actual work and you enjoy the result of the work, But during that process, I think the important thing is that feeling of unity, that feeling, that almost religious or spiritual experience, mystical experience. So again, the kind of hardest part is just getting started, right? The longer we stay in the Eight of Cups, the harder it is to kind of get out of that. The more comfortable we feel down here in this muck, you know. So the hardest part is that first step. But I think remembering how this experience felt, what this was like, the importance of this, should be enough to motivate you to take that first step. And this is the Prince of Discs. This is, I think, that first step. This is the Emperor making the decision, giving the orders, and then the ego and the body, right? The air and the earth, Prince of Discs. The ego and the body start doing the work. They hear the orders from the Emperor, and they start doing it. They just get up. It may be uncomfortable at first. It may feel awkward. You may want to go back to the 7 or 8 of Cups. But you're going to keep going forward, and you're going to keep pursuing your activities. Now, it may not be the same activity. I don't think the activity is so important, but the meaning behind it, the feeling of it, this communication and union, this spiritual experience that was part of it, right? So it may be a different activity. That's not really the point. The point is, I think, this 6 of Cups, this real sense of resonance and harmony, this feeling like you're just comfortable in yourself again, this feeling like you're just resonating with the world around you again, that you're in harmony with spirit, right? That you have taken your pursuit of your bliss, right, 3 of Cups, and you've doubled it. The universe is giving it right back to you, 6 of Cups. So you're expressing your intention and your purpose, your meaning. You're following your bliss. And the universe is resonating that back to you. The universe is harmonizing with you. So it becomes a real, oh, that's hot. It becomes a real easiness. You know? It becomes a real comfortable place, almost like, again, like that mystical experience where, we forget our bodies, we forget our egos, and we're just pure being, right? We're just pure existence. It's that kind of a harmony, when you harmonize with something and it just creates like a third sound. I don't know how to explain it. When 2 voices perhaps really hit that harmony perfectly, it just creates something completely different, It's that kind of, it's that resonance in the true sense of the word, And I think this is what we're after, and I think this is what we're going to achieve, to be honest with you. So I do think there is this Mercury and this Scorpio connection with you, okay? And not only that, but the 3 of Cups here is ruled by Mercury in Cancer, but we've got the Mercury connection. We've got the Scorpio connection. So I really feel like there's a Mercury-Scorpio connection with you that is in some way related to this. Maybe they're, just someone in your life or some part of your like astrological makeup that is going to be the key to all of this. Okay, let's see if this mystery card can help us out. Okay, I don't know what this is going to be. We started with the 5 of Pentacles, right? Discs, coins, diamonds. So there's a lot of movement, ready for a change, ready for doing the work, building, renovating, putting back together. So I wonder if this is going to be another 5. Beginning with a 5, ending with a 5, right? I don't think 5 of Cups. You see the 9 of Wands in the recent past, that there was this I feel like it was a recovery from something, like maybe there was some kind of either other responsibilities or there was an illness or something, and that maybe is what kind of took you away from pursuing this work. So I almost feel like we need a 5 of Wands in order to show our activity, to show that we're ready for a change energetically. Kind of that we're ready to really get into this Emperor energy, right? How are we going to kickstart that Emperor? Well, I think through movement in the spirit. 5 of Wands, right? That seems right to me. Let's see what we have. 5 of Wands, yeah. So this is that kind of, this is the kick in the butt that we need, right? To kind of wake the Emperor up. Maybe the Emperor fell asleep on the throne or whatever. And we need some kind of a kickstart. And this kickstart could be coming by way of this Scorpio, this Mercury-Scorpio connection for you, okay? That could be the kickstart that we need. That could be the shock, the wake-up call, the, just we finally hear the walls kind of creaking around us, or we hear the wood start to splinter, and we know we got to get moving. We know we got to hurry up. So there's something here that's going to kind of wake you up. It's going to enliven you. It's going to be I think the kick in the butt that we need to wake the Emperor up and get moving with this. Because that 6 of Cups is waiting for you there at the end. The 3 of Cups at the top here, the 6 of Cups at the top over there. I mean, it's just, these are the highest ideals that we could get. The most beautiful kind of fulfillment possible. The only thing that would really be the icing on the cake is that Empress energy. Maybe in the extended we'll see the Empress come out. I'm not sure. We're going to do an extended right now. If you want to stick around for that, please click on the link that's right up here. This was your weekly reading for March 26th through April 1st on Dove and Serpent Tarot.